Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we will be maxing out Sasquatch in the content creator beta, and we will be testing him out in both Hack 6 and then Realm of Legends. So he is a really fun to play character. He's a great defender. He has a lot of health, the highest health pool in the game if I remember correctly, and he is capable of some pretty big numbers. So the way he works is like for the damage, you put ruptures on the opponent. You can use SP1 to refresh them. Here we are running some synergies that extend the time and stuff, and then you use your SP2. Depending on how many ruptures you have, you do more damage, and like the SP2 itself consumes the ruptures, but the last hit again applies some ruptures. So after the first SP2 you have a really good rotation going, especially when you use that SP2 during the Wrath phase. By the way, we are also running a few boosts here, mainly the Mystic Power boost, which really helps him because he again is a character whose main damage does come from the SP2, and just the way the Mystic Power all the power boost works, like the more damage you deal, the more power you gain back, and it just works really well with him. So he also has Stagger, which obviously nullifies the next buff of the opponent. It is pretty similar to Thor Jane Foster's Stagger on Heavy or Juggernaut's, but I mean technically even Doctor Doom has Stagger on Heavy, but that he also has it on his SP1 first of all. And the reason that Stagger is more useful is that like he has heavy attacks in his main combo, whereas Sasquatch's rotation you don't really need to use heavy attacks. And there I pushed myself to the SP3 by mistake, but as you can see we will have a little bit of regeneration going after this. It's not much really, but we also have Wrath again, so like this SP2 will hit harder and will give us, like as you can see, even without the power boost it does give us almost like 1 bar of power. So yeah, the Venom the Duck is about to go down. Also, like the ruptures themselves, they do some decent damage on the opponent. So as I was saying, his nullify mechanic, not that impressive, not that useful. He also takes less damage from Cold Snap, I believe. We will test that against this Vision Aarkus. This also has the thermostat node. Now he doesn't have any kind of power control, so I was a bit worried going in this matchup, but he does have a really big health pool, so I thought that he might be able to tank SP3 if it comes to it. Here I'm gonna try to bait a special. I thought about going for heavy attacks, but again, Vision Aarkus, he can also shrug off your stuns if he is awakened, which he is with his tenacity. And here I go for SP2. It does some alright damage, nothing too impressive, and we just keep on hitting him. At this point he has 2 bars of power. We go for SP2 and it does some ridiculous damage, like all 3 parts crit. It pushes us to SP3 and this will finish off this fight. It's a really cool looking SP2 as well, SP3 as well, animation wise, and I'll let you see the winning animation as well because it is pretty cool. He just comes from the side of the tree and then picks it up. So yeah, let's move on to Realm of Legends now. He is not a great character for Labyrinth or even Abyss because of the damage caps. Again, his main damage does come from his SP2, so I guess Brian did use him in Abyss a little, but it's more because of the Sabertooth synergy and using Sabertooth as your main character if you do not have an Aegon. Overall, like, because the Mystic class is so good, I'm not sure where I would place him. He's not going to be a must-have champion, but he's really cool and he's really fun to play with. Capable of some good damage, has some utility in the form of being able to take cold snap fights and stuff. which is still a rare thing to do. Additionally, he is also a really powerful defender with his huge health pool, and during his wrath he like becomes unstoppable during specials and stuff. So yeah, he's a pretty decent defender, I guess. And with your SP1, as I showed that, you can refresh your rupture, and it is really decent damage over time, actually, like 578 per take from a 565. You don't have to be close to the opponent for this. You don't have to do anything except like play normally. And let's go for another SP2. We are in the wrath phase as well. It does some big damage, gives us 2 bars of power once again, and this SP2 will probably finish it off. It didn't, but we are still in wrath and still have 2 bars of power. Another SP2. This one does the trick. I think he can be decent for Alliance for offense. Probably not. I don't know there, because SP2s can probably finish most fights. I'm not sure. Like, he's still a really new character. As he becomes more common, we will see him being used more in more areas. In the content creator beta, we don't have a lot of areas we can test. It's basically like Abyss, Labyrinth, the variants, and the Act 6 and stuff. So I mean you can't test in Alliance 4 and Alliance Square, stuff like that. So yeah, we will see. He definitely has the potential, and personally, like, I'm a huge fan of this character's design. The way, like, you use SP2 and then you don't have to build up from the start. You get some ruptures back. You can, if you want huge damage, you don't have to deal with the damage cap or anything. You can, keep using SP1s and refreshing those ruptures. But and also, like, I am definitely not a very experienced Sasquatch player. Like, I just ranked him up. So if you are a pro Sasquatch player and you have some tips for me, then do let me know in the comment section down below. And that's basically going to do it for today. After this SP2, we should have some power. We are in the wrath phase now, getting some regeneration. It's pretty low, but anyways, now we have a special 2. Does some pretty big damage. We have another SP2, and that should probably finish it off. That's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Stay safe. Bye bye.